You feel sometimes, on this journey of life, you feel, I don't know, stuck, lost, like you might be facing things alone, like you might be isolated, like you could feel like at times you're going against the world and everything might be coming up against you. And, it feels like no matter how far you go forward, you feel like you're always being brought back. Or you're feeling like you have another obstacle to overcome or another setback or, trial and tribulation that you're faced with for you to, move forward in whatever it is you're setting out to do. Well, in this 4-part series that I'm introducing, it's going to be about trusting God and trusting the plans and the purpose that He has for your life. And, whatever it is you say that you want to do and accomplish in your life, knowing that through the grace of God and the relationship that you build with God, He's strong enough and purposeful enough to bring you through whatever it is that you feel like you might be facing alone. That, the comfort of God and the peace that He instills within you, really assures you to feel as though you have, somebody leading you, somebody that you can confide in, somebody that you can, no matter what it is you're facing, you can always bring it to God. And to know that, through prayer and, spending time with Him, He will give you the serenity and the peace to, move forward. So in this first episode, part 1 is going to be about faith without works is dead. Pretty much saying that, to say that you have faith in whatever it is that you're doing, but not diligently taking steps or actions forward to help yourself accomplish these things that you say that you want to do, or whatever it is that you're having faith in God to bring forth into your life. To know that, a relationship is two-sided, and, God will always be God. No matter if you show up or not or do the work, He will always be there for you, to comfort you, to lead you, to grant you that peace and that safety and that comfort that you're looking for. Because God knows us better than we know ourselves. He knows what we need when we need it and how we need it. He knows how to bring it to you, how to, showcase it in front of you for you to receive it in those moments when you need it most. And that's the number one thing that I've, learned in my walk with God. And as I continue to walk and strengthen my relationship with God, I see how much He always knows what you need when you need it, and He will bring it to you when you need it and exactly what it is that you need. And, to come full circle about what I'm saying about this episode in part 1, without faith without works is dead. It's exactly what it means, is that, for example, like when I've set out on this journey to, with my brand and this new endeavor that I'm, embarking on, when I first had the idea or the dream to set out on this walk, it was very, I'd say it was very, like I could see where it is I want to go, but, obviously I didn't know every single step, every single thing, every decision that I need to make in order for it to come to pass. And, if I look back now, 2 years ago when I first, originated the idea and the purpose behind what it is I wanted my brand to represent and what it is I wanted for myself to grow and, develop as a person throughout this journey in my brand, is that, if you continue to show up each and every day with pure intentions and, and trusting in God and trusting that He will, direct and order your steps, how you need Him and when you need it, it truly is a blessing to receive, His peace and His direction along the journey. Because at times, I felt very, like I was trying to, do it myself, or trying to control every single aspect and just try to be so logical with my thinking, rather than trying to be, faith-driven and just continue to show up each and every day, getting 1% better, doing one more thing that I didn't do yesterday to help me move closer to what it is I'm trying to, bring to life. And when I look back on my journey now to the present moment, it's truly been the hand of God. It's truly been the hand of God. It's truly been, me following His steps, me trusting in Him to, direct and align me with the right information, opportunities, people, and resources that I would need to, move forward in this in this journey that I'm on. And, you know, at first it felt very, I don't know, it felt exciting. It felt like, you know, something new. And then, you know, along as the process goes, it can feel, you know, sometimes somewhat of a burden, but not to a burden I want to give it up. Just like draining. Like, I felt like no matter how much more momentum I made forward, I feel like I always was faced with, you know, a new obstacle and a new setback and a new hiccup that was, you know, kind of stunting. In my head, I thought my growth. In my head, I thought it was holding me back, and it was, you know, blocking what it is I'm trying to do and achieve. When in reality, every single roadblock, every single obstacle, every single thing of adversity that I was faced with was God sharpening me and developing me and preparing me for what it is He's ultimately called and, you know, purposed me to do. And I now see that clearly is that, you know, God works in such mysterious ways, and, you know, in those moments when we think like, oh my God, like what next, or this again, or come on, like I just did this, and now I got to deal with this. But in those moments, it's God teaching us little character things and sharpening, you know, who it is that we are, and He's strengthening our faith that we have in Him, to trust in Him to show up, to know that we don't have to, you know, take on every single thing by ourselves, to know that we don't need to feel as though we need to face the world by ourselves, to know that we do need God and that we do need His hand and His guidance and His safety net around us to, you know, move boldly and courageously into whatever it is we feel He called us to do, or whatever it is we feel like we are dreaming to do. So with that being said, it's just, you know, like I said, introduce this part one, you know, faith without works is dead, is to, you know, really emphasize the fact that, you know, we have to do our part too. We have to show up and help God, you know, bring us closer to what it is that we said we want. We have to make sure that we're diligently doing the work. You know, it's one thing to pray, but it's another thing to actually show up and do the things that you're actually looking for God to answer your prayers with. So it's like, you know, if you want to, like for me, at one point I was kind of, you know, stuck with, you know, just new ideas and things that I wanted to, you know, make videos about and things like that. And, you know, as I continuously just showed up each day and continuously just, you know, look for new inspiration, look for new ideas through things that I was doing, whether it be, you know, just things that I would daily be entertaining, conversations that I might be having, just always being open and being receptive to what God might drop in my spirit to then talk about. And I feel like with that being said, like if I wasn't diligently being open and receptive to what it is that I was asking God for, I would have, you know, missed out on the opportunity to make new videos and have new ideas to talk about. So with that, and then comes the part of me sitting down and actually taking the time to record these videos and then actually taking the time to edit them and then post them. So like I said, you know, having the faith but also doing the work, you know, being open and receptive to what it is that God is trying to do through us and in us, and to know that, you know, it's two sides to a coin. But even if we don't show up and do our part, God will still give us the strength and the wisdom and the direction and the energy to do those things that we feel like we're not capable of. So that's another thing that I learned as well, is that no matter how down or depleted that you feel or drained that you feel, you know, God will give you the strength to, you know, do what it is that He's shown you or, you know, has instilled within you to do. And I felt like, you know, once I truly understood that and I started applying that concept and that revelation on my life, I truly started to see, you know, more of God and things that I was doing. And it's truly been a blessing. And I just wanted to share this testimony with somebody that, you know, might be in a similar situation. They might feel like they're up against the world. They might feel like nothing is working out for them. They might feel like, you know, the prayers that they're praying to God for, you know, might be taking long to, you know, manifest and come to fruition, when in reality, it might be God teaching you patience. It might be God teaching you, look, this is where I need you to strengthen your faith. This is where I need you to, you know, heal. This is where I need you to release and let go. This is where I need you to have a new perspective. You know, allow me to do a new work in you. Allow me to, you know, renew you. Allow me to, you know, cleanse the toxicity that might be within you that you might not be knowing about through things that I bring up in your life. So when you're faced with those adversities and those roadblocks and those those things that might be weighing on you, ask yourself, how can I grow through this? How can I transform, who I am now to who it is that I want to be later? How can I use this as an opportunity rather than looking at it as an obstacle? And, with that being said, once I had that perspective, it truly changed everything. It truly allowed me to be open and receptive to, what God is trying to do, and each and every day, what He will continue to do in my life. And, now that I had that perspective moving forward, I can be, just looking for God in all things that I do, whether it be people, places, things, or just being out in nature like this, looking for God's presence and being open to His peace and His abundance. So, you can check us out at onesdivinedestiny.com. For more information, you can look up, I'm also wearing, one of our pieces, our hoodies. Devon right here on the side. So yeah, you can check us out at onesdivinedestiny.com. Like I said, this is part 1 of a 4-part series. Trusting God in your life. This episode is about, just faith without works is dead. So today, ask yourself, what can you do in your life that you can tangibly do to help bring you closer to where it is that you would like to see your life and where it is you would like to see yourself? What can you do today that you haven't done yet that will ultimately get you closer to where you're trying to go? So yeah, just a question to leave you guys with, and I hope this touched somebody and spoke to somebody, and I'll see you guys on the next one in part 2. Peace.